everybody, and good morning to all of you from up here at Humble Hyundai here in the north end of Houston, Texas. This is Grand Prix GTP02 here today, and behind me is the sweet little treat that I got when I walked into work this morning here at the dealership. Now I know what you're thinking. That's a 2017 Hyundai Elantra sedan. What could possibly be more special than that? Well, quite a few things actually, being the fact that even though we've already looked at the two other available trim levels for the Elantra sedan so far on the open road, where we test drove the SE sedan, and then we also got our very first look at the Elantra Limited with the available tech package. So we've kind of covered all the bases, right? Well, wrong, because welcome to the third available trim level for the Elantra family that also debuts some of Hyundai's newest gasoline direct fuel injected technology. So today we're going to get a quick review and quick little tour of the 2017 Hyundai Elantra Eco. Alright, so the 2017 Hyundai Elantra Eco. Well, for those of you out there who have been watching not only the couple of videos that I've put out on this car already, but also the multitude of strings of automotive media, press releases, and so on that have all praised this car dramatically, then you know that this car has made a lot of dramatic steps in only the first few months that this car has been out already. Now, we've already looked at the SE and the limited trim levels, both via a test drive of the SE and a first look video of the limited with the available tech package only a couple months back. But here we are again with the 2017 Elantra, and this time this one has taken things a much different direction. In the name of fuel economy, Hyundai has actually brought one of their smallest turbocharged engines, in fact one of their smallest engines ever, to the US market, and they've done it in the form of the Elantra Eco. Now, of course, like I just said, the big story is up here at the front, so that's where we're going to start. Under the hood here is a 1.4 liter direct injected turbocharged 4-cylinder engine making 128 horsepower and 156 pound-feet of torque that arrives at just 1,300 to 1,500 RPM. Now that 1.4 liter lump is mated to their 7-speed EcoShift dual clutch automatic transmission, which they've already used in cars like the Sonata Eco, the turbocharged variant of the new Tucson, and also a couple other vehicles that they've trickled off into various parts of the world. Now the Eco for me is a real value for money car because this thing stickers at just under $21,500, which is only about $1,500 more than you will spend on a decently equipped SE, such as a package 2, meaning the one that's been equipped with the popular equipment package. Now, talking about packages and equipment, the Eco probably comes the best loaded and the best equipped for the money as well. You have things like standard alloy wheels. Those are the 15-inch alloys specific to the Eco, and we'll show you those a little bit more in detail here in a second. You have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. You have a 7-inch or 8-inch touchscreen display already integrated into the dash. You've got the proximity key keyless entry as standard on the Eco, along with the hands-free smart trunk access, projector headlights, LED daytime running lights. You've just pretty much got the lot, and all for less than $21.5 grand, which makes this car quite substantial value. Now, one of the other ways that this car rises above it all is the fuel economy numbers. Now, the standard Elantra with the 2-liter Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder engine, i.e. relating to the SE and the limited trim, you're looking at about 27 to 28 in the city and about 37 to 38 miles per gallon on the highway, running on regular unleaded gasoline. But with the new 1.4 liter engine, you're looking at 32 miles per gallon in the city and 40 miles per gallon on the interstate highway, running on regular unleaded or even premium unleaded fuels. So let's take a look at these wheels here. Again, these are the 15-inch smoke gray finished alloy wheels that are standard only on the Eco. These are not an option. This is a package one vehicle. There is no additional packages added to this. So these are the standard wheels and tires. These are the Hankook Kinergy GT tires. So smaller wheels, less weight, adds a little bit less in terms of weight on the suspension. Now, this is a little bit disappointing as well. This car only has front disc brakes like the SE that I test drove on the open road. This one has rear drum brakes, so that is a little bit disappointing. But what is not disappointing to me has always been the styling. I really love it here at the front. So they've borrowed the matte silver grille from the SE with these nice black accents here. Really gives it a nice appearance. It is a bit of a split grille because there's this solid piece right in here. It's all open up here at the top and all open down here at the bottom. Like I said, you do have projectors as projector headlights as standard, but these are not HIDs. I am completely unaware of any packages that are available for the Eco at the time, so the halogen projectors are the only ones that you will get, but you do have the nice chrome lining going around the inner part of the headlight. You also have kind of these active aerodynamic tunnels, and I don't know if they go anywhere, but I think they do. Yes, they do. I was actually right. There's a little tunnel, a little slot right back here. It's just like what I saw on the 2017 Santa Fe Sport, like this one here. You'll notice that on this SUV, it also has those active aerodynamic slots. So this does actually aid in aerodynamics. So you have the air flowing out down the side of the vehicle instead of hitting the front of the vehicle and having to go around, possibly causing any turbulence here at the front. So very, very nice they include those little tunnels there in the back, in the wheel well at least. Now, as far as I've seen, this is the first time I've dealt with an Elantra in white. And to be specific, this is the quartz white pearl. So being the fact it's cloudy, you can't really see the sparkle of the pearlescent in it, but it is really, really nice to look at. Now, coming around to the back of the Elantra, for starters, the trunk is actually a little bit taller than the 2016 and previous years. But what's funny about this, speaking of the 2016, is the fact that the wheelbase is exactly the same. 106.3 inches from front to back, back to front, however you may look at it. Now, to me, the new Elantra has always looked wider. It always looked a little bit bigger compared to the older ones. So this is definitely a very, very nice all-around package for the Elantra. I really, really like this car. And now with the fact this car is getting even greater fuel economy, and I can't really attest to the fact it gets as good a fuel economy as the sticker says, being the fact that this is the very first time I've looked at this car, it is still really, really awesome to know that the Elantra has finally cracked the 40 mile per gallon mark, because even the previous generation of this one never quite got there. You had the Elantra Sport, which had the 2-liter engine with the 173 horsepower, which got the worst of it all. I think about 24 to 25 in the city and about 34 to 35 on the highway. And the normal one, the 1.8-liter multi-port injected 4-cylinder with 145 horsepower and 130 pound-feet of torque, that got around 28 in the city, 38 on the highway. So kind of comparable to the 2-liter Atkinson 4-cylinder at 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque that you'll find in the SE and the Limited. So, being the fact I've not driven it, I can't say the fuel economy is official, but I will have to take you guys on a test drive in this car, or possibly just have to drive this off camera and really see if their fuel economy claims are as good as they say on paper. So, from the exterior and looking at some of the technology that you get as standard, the Elantra Eco is definitely a bargain. So we're going to take a quick step inside, look at a little bit of the technology, and then we'll wrap it up from there. So like I said in the beginning, the Elantra Eco does come standard with the proximity key keyless access here. I love this pocket-sized fob. It's a lot slimmer than a lot of their older ones. You got 4 functions on the fob here: lock, unlock. We'll hold the button down for the trunk, and then of course the panic function. And then should this key die, or possibly your car battery die, you've got the releasable key blade via that small button down there at the bottom. But anyways, the car's locked right now, so as you can see, I can't get in. So just put the key fob in your pocket, your purse, what have you, hit the button on the door, 2 beeps indicates the doors are now open, and if you do the same thing from the passenger side, you will unlock all 4 doors at the same time. Now, once you open the door to the Elantra Eco, it's pretty much the same case that I was saying in the Elantra SE, if you guys may have seen that video when I took that car for a test drive. The interior is a mix match of plastics, kind of a cheap leatherette material that really doesn't have a whole lot of give, especially here on the door. You've got all your standard switches, you've got your automatic down and up driver's window, you have all the rest of your power windows, window locks, you've got your power mirrors, you've got your power door locks, and again, the keyless access and the hands-free smart trunk. Just, it feels plasticky, it still feels cheap, but then again, this car is only 21 grand, so it is one of the lower end trims out there. Now, some places where I do actually like the build quality is things like here on the steering wheel. This one has a leather trim steering wheel as standard equipment on the Eco, so I do like that. Originally, some of the lower end trims like this, you would find kind of a synthetic vinyl-like material or a plasticky kind of material. Some safety features as well. This car does come with blind spot detection as standard equipment. No power tilt, but it does tilt and telescope via the lever here. And of course, we have cloth seats. You can get beige, black. This one is dressed in a real nice dark gray. Kind of has a two-tone appearance to it. The center insert here is a little bit lighter than the upper material up here. But stepping down inside of the Elantra, this car is definitely not a low vehicle by any means. I can slide into it just fine. I'm 6'1" and I have no problem with it at all. And the first thing I want to do before I start talking about all this is put this car, or bring this car into life. So with the proximity key access, you do get the push button start. So it's all the simple same process. Foot on the brake, hit the button on the dash, and you bring that little 1.4 liter lump to life. Now, the first thing we're gonna bring to life is the air conditioning in here, because it is so hot outside. It's 86 degrees and the humidity is absolutely atrocious. But anyways, shutting the door, it is a nice solid thunk that you hear when you actually close the door. So it's kind of that Volkswagen-y kind of thunk. That's the one I can kind of compare it to. So you just shut it, a nice solid thunk, almost like a big vault door, but without the big loud clatter. So again, on the subject of technology, here on the steering wheel, you've got voice recognition, hands-free radio, Bluetooth, you've got the controls for your 3.5-inch thin film transistor display. That is standard on this car. This one normally would be an upgrade on some of the other trim levels, such as the SE and even on the Limited. So you've got this little button here that looks like a book. You can go through different things, such as your radio that we have right now, tire pressures, your driving assist, and I'll go ahead and show you this. This is pretty cool. How you access the smart trunk access. So I press OK here using the little toggle, the up-down arrow here. You go to door. You can auto lock and unlock, so when you put the car into gear, it will lock all the doors. And then you see one labeled Smart Trunk, and we have it checked right now so we can show it to you. But you can actually turn that off. You just push OK, and that will automatically take you to that particular setting. You've got your driving assist settings, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, you have the main screen. And even with that needle almost on E, it still says this car has 30 miles left to empty. So that is pretty nifty. One of the other things, again, as standard, you do have the LED daytime running lights, as I said, but that also includes the automatic headlight function. So that is very, very nice. Now, this display right here, this is, I believe this is the 7-inch touchscreen display. It's very much a similar kind of display you'll get in the Hyundai Veloster in terms of size. But again, the bigger cars in Hyundai's line, like the Sonata, do carry the 8-inch screen. But nevertheless, I do like the color. A little bit more basic on the graphics, but not too atrocious. Again, you do have the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and those work in different ways. I've seen the Apple as simple as you plug your phone into the standard connector down there in that little cubby, and it immediately brings up the Apple CarPlay up here. The Android Auto, you have to open the app, and once you open the app on your phone with your phone connected to the car, it will automatically then synchronize it with the screen up here and allow you to use Android Auto. That's kind of it in a nutshell. You've got all menus, any grayed out icons, that just means you can't use them. So You got your radio, internet radio with Pandora, again, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, I'll say it again. And I like that it's kind of like a smartphone. You can scroll back and forth and see different options. You have SoundHound music identification, but you have to sign up for a data plan and whatnot to use that. Voice commands, the setup, and whatnot as well. So that is pretty nice. This car does have a standard Hyundai bass stereo system. It doesn't have anything like Infinity or Dimension, but it does make a pretty good noise.
That's 800-951-4204.
Data for DirecTV and AT&T wireless customers gives you more of...
Okay, so obviously there's not anything good on the radio right now, but you get the gist of how the screen works, and then you also have the physical buttons that allow you to toggle between different areas if you don't wish to use the touch screen and turn it basically into a thumb-printed mess. Now, you do have standard dual-zone climate control system, a dual-zone climate control system as standard, sorry, but still very, very good to read, very legible. You have your synchronized button, so you can push that, you can control them at the same time, or you can control them independently. So as you can see, I can control one right now, or if I push sync, I can control both of them at the same time. Very, very simple. You do have automatic AC as well, fan controls, you can turn it off, all of your different climate modes at the same time. Those are located, actually I don't see the button for them right here in particular. I think that's it right there. My bad. But anyways, you have all the rest of it. You do have the clean air ionizer and purifier, so a clever cabin filtration system that allows you to see everything else in, or at least do everything else in the Elantra as far as breathing allergen-free air. Auxiliary, USB, that's pretty much standard equipment. Then again, also the shifter. This is a standard leather-bound shifter, again controlling the 7-speed EcoShift dual clutch automatic. You have heated front seats for both the driver and passenger, 3 stages. This car does not carry any kind of ventilated seats as an option, so that is something different. You also have the drive mode select, so you have normal, eco for the green, sport for the orange, and that of course varies your throttle mappings, transmission timings, and so on. Everything else, build quality wise, it feels solid, it feels decently put together. I just wish the materials were a bit better, but then again, this is a compact or even a mid-size compact car. It is a rather big car, I will admit. There is a lot of room in here. And then again, you have your manually dimming mirror, your microphone for the Bluetooth, and you also have just your sunglasses holder and no sunroof. I'm assuming maybe you might have to get an extra package in order to get that, or maybe the Eco doesn't come with one at all. Again, first time for everything, first time for me seeing the Elantra Eco, but it's time to see what the rest of the car holds. Now moving on to the backseat of the Elantra here, this car does have quite a fair bit of room to spare. It feels a lot roomier to me compared to the outgoing Elantra, the 2016 and previous. I'm 6'1", I'm sitting exactly behind myself, and I have at least 4 fingers width between my knees and the back of the seat. Back of the seats, they're plastic. You do have a mat pocket for one of them. These are 60/40 split fold seats, but you do not have any kind of central cup holder here in the back. You don't have anything in the back of the, well, I take that back. I thought that was an ashtray, but no, you do have little cup holders here in the back of the armrest. I never noticed that on either of the other two. Maybe that's always been there. I just haven't been paying attention. Anyways, so 60/40 seats, you got cup holders here in the back, but that is a little bit of a risky place to have them too. I mean, if your knee hits that and your double gulp from 7-Eleven is sitting there, that's not exactly going to be the greatest thing cleaning up Coke or whatever drink you have in it out of the black carpets in this car. But all humor aside, still love the back seat of this car. Lots and lots of room, especially headroom too. I'm pretty tall, so I had a lot of headroom in there as well, so that's a nice thing to have. And finally, wrapping all of this up, we get to one of my favorite pieces of not only this car, but a lot of the modern Hyundai lineup that has been equipped with the newer proximity key keyless access system. So every car from the Genesis to the Equus to the Sonata, the Elantra equipped with the proximity key access system. So the higher end SE, the Eco, and the Limited will come with this as well. It is the hands-free smart trunk access. And you guys saw me tootling around with the the display in the gauge cluster, you saw how to turn that on. Now I'm going to show you how it works. Now, how the car activates this is once the power has been switched off, you've left the vehicle, you've locked it for more than 15 seconds, and the key fob has been away from the vehicle. Once you come back to the car and step behind the trunk within about 3 feet, the car should recognize the key fob. It'll chime a couple of times, it'll flash the marker lights, and on the 4th chime, it'll release the trunk and reveal access into the back. So let's go ahead after all this blab and try that. So key fob, come up to the back. And as if by magic, the trunk automatically pops. Now for the 2017 Elantra, like I said, the trunk is a bit taller in terms of its initial opening, and here in the back you're looking at 14.4 cubic feet of cargo space, at least here in the initial trunk opening. I haven't seen the dimensions as far as how big it would get if you folded down those 60/40 seats, but again, 14.4 cubic feet of space here in the back. This one has an optional cargo net installed, but you lift this up as well. You do have a fix-a-flat kit under there, which is definitely not my particular favorite. I do love having a good old-fashioned donut in there. It makes it a little easier on the mind, a little more peace of mind. And one final note is you do also have a trunk lock up here in the top, so that is kind of cool. But again, 14.4 cubic feet of space, and you guys get to see the hands-free smart trunk access. Now, on one final note, before we wrap all this up, I did want to talk about a couple of the safety features on this particular vehicle that do come as standard. So you do have electronic stability control with electronic brake distribution. You have a driver's knee airbag in addition to the dual front impact, side curtain, and side impact airbags that come as standard. And of course, you saw the front disc brakes as well. You have the rear view camera, and again, the blind spot detection. So all of that along with your standard things like ABS as well. So this car is quite a safe one, even though the IIHS has not rated, or at least on the sticker, has not rated the 2017 Elantra in terms of safety. But anyways, guys, I know I've taken a lot longer of a time going through this car than I initially planned, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed this walk around, tour, and informative look at the 2017 Hyundai Elantra Eco. I do hope to be bringing you guys more videos like this, along with more in-depth reviews via the Open Road Auto Reviews in the future. So thank you for watching, guys. This has been Grand Prix GTP02 up here at Humble Hyundai here in North Houston, Texas. So thanks to them for the car, or at least letting us use the car for a little bit, and I will see you guys again very soon. So take care and have a good one.